Good morning to all students. Yes, all students have completed their login process. Please communicate. All the students have completed the login process or not? Live chat option available now. Communicate. After your message only I can start the class because I have to check all students have completed login process or not. Okay, two messages are there. Yes, all students have to complete. Please do it fast. Yes, do it fast. Yes, do it fast. Yes, all students have done with login process. Today we are starting your first topic, accounting for share capital. In accounting for share capital, we are going to discuss about issue of shares. When equity shares are issued, preference shares are issued, what will be the accounting procedure or what will be the accounting related to issuance of equity shares and preference shares. But before starting that, first we need to understand what is the background before shares are issued. Okay, so whenever shares are issued, shares can be issued in two different ways. First, share can be issued for cash also. Shares can be issued for other than cash also. So shares can be issued for cash. Shares can be issued for other than cash. Other than cash means generally shares issued by company, but in return or exchange they have not received cash. They are receiving any other asset. That is called as issuance of shares other than cash. So this will be done when company is purchasing the assets, when company is acquiring the business of another entity. So in those cases, when shares issued by the company, generally they will not receive cash, they will receive the assets. Okay, so that is called as issue of shares other than cash. And if company is going to expand the business or company is going to repay the debt, okay, or companies generally required working capital, in those cases company will issue the shares for cash because cash is necessary for expansion, for working capital, for general purposes, or sometime to repay the debt also, existing debts they need cash. So in those cases generally shares will be issued for cash. So ultimately, in a nutshell, we can say that company will issue the shares for cash or company will issue the shares for other than cash. Okay, company will issue the shares for cash, company will issue the shares for other than cash. I hope this point is understand to all. Now next, when company issuing the shares for cash, what is the procedure that we are going to discuss now? Okay, so when company is issuing the shares for cash, suppose one company is going to list in Bombay Stock Exchange or National Stock Exchange. Okay, so in that case, that company will come with IPO, initial public offer. So in that initial public offer, they will offer the public to invest in the company. That's why it is termed as initial public offer. So in that, public can invest the money. But directly you will invest, or you will check the track record of the company also. Usually you are an investor. You are going to become the shareholder of the company. So first you will check the track record of the company. So company's prospectus required. So company prospectus you will refer. So company generally giving the prospectus also. So first we will see the prospectus. When company started or incorporated, what is the main business line, who are the promoters of the company, what is the main objective of the company, what is the vision of the company, what is the mission of the company, okay, and what is the upcoming plans relating to the company, what type of business right now they are doing, in that what is their position, like financial position, profitability position, like this all we will see. And in prospectus they will mention key items relating to the company. So detailed prospectus also available and abridged prospectus also available. If investor want to study the complete details of the company in detailed prospectus are available. If investor want to read the important areas of the company or key performance indicators of the company, in that particular case, investor can refer abridged prospectus or red herring prospectus. So first we'll check the prospectus of the company. Okay, thereafter we can decide. Now you have done with the prospectus of the company. Now you are satisfied. Now after that, what investor will decide? I will invest in the company or I want to invest in the company. So you will generally send the application to company. So first, previously physical application forms are available. Now everything is online process, but previously physical application forms was available. Through that, investor will be applying or investor has applied. Nowadays, through mobile phone, through online mode, applications will be sent. Now physical form of sending the application is totally not used in the practice. Nowadays everything is online or through electronic media. Previously the process was different. So previously investor will check prospectus of the company. Nowadays also prospectus will be checked. Then physical application form investor will fill and that will be sent to the company in past. And thereafter the application of investor is verified, checked, and for how many shares investor is applying. So for that investor has to pay application money. So whatever amount is required to be paid by the investor, that will be sent through application. So previously the amount required to the company will be collected from investor in 4 installments. One is called as application money, second is called as allotment money, third is called as first call, and thereafter final call. Or in some cases in 3 calls, means 3 installments also, or 3 intervals also, company has collected the funds. Nowadays also this practice can be used, but usually companies are not using this practice. whatever is required, complete amount they will receive on application only. Okay. Previously, why this practice was not used? Because previously we don't have the technology with the companies, technology with the government. Technology is not so much developed. That's why only out of total amount, application amount will receive. If application accepted by the company, then shares will be allotted. Then allotment money has to be paid. Then first call, final call. In this way, amount is received. If application is not generally accepted by the company, it is rejected, then amount will be refunded. Which amount? Application amount will be refunded. Nowadays also, if you pay the money through application, through online mode, if no allotment was given to you, your money will be refunded. But your money is not debited from the account, only it will be on hold. After allotment of shares only, money is debited. Previously you have to send the money through check or generally through other mode that will be collected, and if allotment was done, then allotment money is also collected, application money already paid. Like this process was used, and thereafter first call is made by the board of director. The investor has to pay first call, then final call. In this way, previously funding was raised or amount is collected, but now process is changed. Whatever amount required to the company, investor has to pay completely on application stage only. Allotment, first call, final call, like this, there are no different stages used in the practice mostly. So if investor want to invest in company, he has to pay complete money on application stage only. If allotment given, that amount is debited from his account. If no allotment was made, amount will be again credited to his account. That's it. This is the simple trick used in the market. Previously it was different. Previously you have to send application. In application, how much quantity of shares you want, for that you have to pay only application money. It means suppose share price is 10 rupee, face value of share is 10 rupee. For example, suppose face value of share is 10 rupees. Listen carefully. So entire 10 rupees is not collected immediately. It will be collected in 4 installments or 3 installments. Suppose they are collecting in 4 installments. Application, first call, final call, like this. Application, allotment, first call, final call. So some portion of money will be received on application, some portion will be on allotment, some portion will be on first call, some portion will be on final call. In this way, amounts collected previously. Okay, here. So according to that, generally investor has to pay money. Suppose company has decided ki 10 rupees is the face value of the share. So on application, they decided ki 3 rupees will be application. So if you are applying for 1000 share, 1000 into 3, you have to pay 3000 to the company. Because out of 10 rupees, company is not collecting entire 10 rupee. Only for application how much required, that only company collecting. Once your application is selected, then you decided, company has decided the shares will be allotted to this shareholder, then you have to pay next installment. If your application is not accepted, whatever you paid, that is refunded. Clear? So this was the process used earlier. Nowadays also this can be used, but mostly in practice it is not used. Whatever 10 rupee face value is there, completely received by the company at that time of IPO. First call, final call, like this, company is not collecting the money. This is the major changes in the system. Okay, I hope you understand this, or means you understand this. Any student who have not understand, I will repeat one more time. If this is clear, then we'll proceed further. Like here, if you see, issue of shares to the public for cash, in this you have to first in the sequence items, issue of prospectus, then receipt of application for shares. Means first company will issue the prospectus, investor will see the prospectus, then applications will be received. Then if application selected, allotment will be done. Then how much due on calls, that call will be made, and amount is collected accordingly on call. So this is the sequence used. Nowadays also this can be used. Okay, but nowadays system was changed. Company collecting entire money on application stage only, and if shares selected for allotment, amount will be debited, otherwise refunded. Previously only you have to pay application money out of total face value of the share. If your application selected, then company will collect allotment, first call, final call. Otherwise, if application not selected, how much you paid on application, that is refunded. This was the practice used in past, and some cases nowadays also used. Okay, you have to learn both modern also, traditional also. In your book or study material, generally mostly traditional methodology of questions are framed. Okay, now right sir. Okay, this is understand or not? First confirm this sequence. When you are applying to invest the money in public companies, or when you are applying for IPO, what is the procedure, that you understand or not? Yes, please confirm. Yes, all students. See, live chat option available now. Through that you have to communicate. If this is clear, I will proceed further. Yes, please communicate fastly. Okay. The next is accounting treatment we are discussing. Now you understand key in what way companies collecting the funds from public when shares are issued to the public. Again I am repeating, first prospectus are issued, thereafter investor is interested to invest in the company, means application money collected along with application. Then if company accepting the application, then allotment will be done. Shareholder have to pay allotment money also. Then after that, first call and final call. This is the traditional practice used. Suppose share face value is 10 rupees. The entire 10 rupees is not collected on application. First some initial amount is collected, like say 25% or 30% amount collected here. So 3 rupees or 2.5 rupees, or suppose sometime 40% amount company want to collect, means 4 rupees. So like this, on application they are collecting this. So remaining amount they will collect on allotment, first call, final call. Like this they will do. Okay. But nowadays system was changed. Nowadays company collect entire 10 rupees along with premium amount at application stage only. Okay. Clear now? Yes sir. See, previously why system was followed, what system is followed, that system is changed now due to advancement. Here, due to advancement. Clear? Right sir. Why previous system is different from current system, I will explain that also. Previously when you are applying for shares, you are a genuine shareholder or you are a fake shareholder, that is to be verified, because previously there is no Aadhaar, okay, Aadhaar card identity, only through PAN number or certain government document you have to apply. But nowadays Demat account is opened. Before opening Demat account, you have to mention your Aadhaar card, you have to mention your PAN number, you have to mention your bank account details, you have to give your video and photo identity. So everything before opening Demat account only verified. So verification again not required when you apply for the IPO. That is the reason previous system was different from current system. That's it. Directly, previously UPI technology was not there. Online payment system was not there. That's why only application stage, application money collected. Thereafter allotment, first call, final call collected. But now facility is available. Within 2 minutes we can send the money. Within 2 minutes we can receive the money. That advancement was taken place. That's why now system is changed. Okay now? Right, sir. Because as a student you have to know what is going on in the market currently, what was the practice used in past also. Both you have to understand. Still nowadays also you can follow traditional system. Yes, you can follow, by that is your wish, but nobody will follow generally. Mostly nobody will follow. Okay, right, sir. Now when shares are issued, shares will be issued at par also, and shares will be issued at premium also. Mostly in case of public IPO or IPO, shares will be issued at premium only. Now first we have to understand what is par, what is premium. Par means when memorandum articles are prepared, okay, in that we have to decide the face value of the share. So 1 rupee face value, 5 rupee face value, 10 rupee face value. What is the face value of share? Okay. So face value of share is generally relating to capital. Beyond that, whatever you receive, that is not capital. That is reserve for you. That is part of reserves and surplus. That is not part of capital. That's why this difference is required. So whatever is face value, that face value, only for that face value amount company issuing the shares. Beyond that, company is not collecting anything, is called as issue of shares at par. Means your company face value of share is 10 rupee, company is collecting 10 rupee per share only, then it is called as issue of shares at par. Now company is collecting extra amount because company is having goodwill in the market, company is having good name in the market. So why company has to receive 10 rupees only? They can receive extra also. Shareholders are ready to pay. Suppose 10 rupee face value. Now company want to charge 100 rupees. Company want to collect 100 rupee per share. So 90 rupees will be called as premium. 90 rupees will be called as what? Premium. Then 100 rupees called as issue price. 100 rupees called as what? Issue price. So face value plus premium is called as what? Issue price. So shares can be issued at par also. Shares can be issued at premium also. In IPO, always shares are issued at premium. Initially, before IPO, when shares are issued, when promoters are generally investing the money in company, at that time it will be at par. But in IPO, always remember, shares will be issued at premium only. Now after this discussion, one question will arise in the mind of a student. The shares can be issued at discount also. My face value of share is, my company's face value of share is 10. Now company can issue for 9 rupees. No. Issue of shares at discount is prohibited in the Companies Act. Okay. Shares either issued at par or issued at premium. But when you are applying for IPO, always it will be at premium. There is no possibility of share issuing at discount. Okay, right, sir. Okay, this is also understand all. Issue of shares at par. What is the meaning of this? Issue of shares at premium. This is also understand. Yes. This point is also clear to all students. Or shall I repeat once again? Communication is required because I have to check how many of you understanding properly. Thereafter only I can proceed for the next points. Shares can be issued at par, share can be issued at premium. This is understand or not? मैसेज करिए जल्दी जल्दी, फास्ट करिए. Online class compulsory, have to check regularly this one for online students. Okay, understand sir, right? So now we are discussing about accounting treatment relating to issue of shares at par and payment in installment. So shares are said to be issued at par. Okay, it means shares will be issued at face value or nominal value. For example, if share is 10 rupees, share is having 10 rupee face value, and this is issued at 10 rupees only. So this is called as what? Issue of shares at par. Now this 10 rupees can be payable in lump sum also. This 10 rupees can be payable in installment also. In installment, if this is paid, in how many installment it will be collected? Already I explained. Application, allotment, first call, final call. Application, allotment, first call, final call. So the amount which is companies intend to collect, that can be collected in lump sum also, that can be collected in installment also. In installment, if company is collecting, in what way it will be recorded? In lump sum, if the company is receiving, what will be the recordings in the books of accounts that we are going to discuss now. Okay, please note this accounting treatment. First you can write the heading issue, forfeiture and reissue of shares. This is your topic name. This write this. सब लोग इसका नाम लिख दीजिए चैप्टर का. इशू, फॉरफीचर एंड रीइश्यू ऑफ शेयर्स. दिस इज योर टॉपिक नेम. What is this? I will explain at later stage, don't worry. What is the meaning of forfeiture? I will explain, don't worry. First write the heading issue, forfeiture and reissue of shares. Okay, in this you can write issue of shares to public for cash. In that you have to write the heading issue of shares to public for cash. Okay, other than cash we'll discuss at later stage. So issue of shares to public for cash. In that you should write, when shares are issued to public for cash by issue of prospectus, the following steps among others are taken. Means you should write steps. Shares may be issued for cash or for consideration cash. This is not required. When shares are issued to public for cash, first issue of prospectus will take place, receipt of application for shares, then allotment, then calls. Only in shortcut you should write. चलिए लिखिए, फर्स्ट इशू ऑफ prospectus, then receipt of application. Write this. First heading is issue of shares to public for cash. In that, issue of prospectus, receipt of application of for shares. This you have to write. Right, next this one, allotment of shares, calls on shares. Done. Okay, now next you can write accounting treatment. In that, issue of shares at par and payment in installment, because amount can be received in lump sum, also amount can be received in installment. Examiner will test the question on installment. If amount is received in lump sum, examiner will not test, because that is very simple. 2-3 entries will come, finish. That's why examiner will not test. If amount is received in lump sum, that type of question is not expected in exam. Installment wise, which is outdated, that will come in exam. What is modern current scenario followed, that is not tested in exam. That is the beauty of professional courts. मार्केट में जो लेटेस्ट चलता है ना, उस पर क्वेश्चन नहीं आता है, जो पुराना चलता था उस पर क्वेश्चन आता है. ओके, राइट सर. तो इशू ऑफ शेयर्स एट पार एंड पेमेंट इन इंस्टॉलमेंट, लिखिए हेडिंग, ये हेडिंग लिखिए ये. Now here we have to discuss the scheme of journal entries. Means when company issuing the shares, initially they will collect what? Application money. So what is the accounting entry for application money? Then allotment money, then first call money, then final call money. Like this, what will be the journal entries? What is the scheme of journal entries? We are going to discuss now. ओके, चलिए लिखिए, इशू ऑफ शेयर एट पार, पेमेंट इन इंस्टॉलमेंट. Right. So now we are discussing the journal entries. Please concentrate. First, company will receive what? Application money. See, whatever is underlined with red ink, that is transaction. And for this transaction, what will be the entry that I am explaining. So first transaction is what? Receipt of application money. First, company will receive the money through applications. Clear? So when application money received by the company, what will be the entry? So company receiving the amount. So usually cash is not paid, through checks amount will come, or through UPI system or other system cash will come. That's why bank account is debited. Okay, so bank account debited to share application, because this is application na, application money received, so bank account is debited to share application. If equity share, we have to write equity share application. If preference share, we have to write preference share application. Okay, how much amount we have received, that is we have to mention here. For example, company receive application money on 1 lakh shares. So 1 lakh into 3 rupees, so 3 lakh rupees. Suppose company receive applications on 1 lakh 20,000 share. 1 lakh 20,000 into, suppose 3 rupees into 3. Okay, right. This is your first entry. For application money received, entry will be bank account debit to share application. Here, No need to write this explanation given in the box. This is not required at all. Only you should write this transaction and journal entry. Whatever given in the bracket, that is also not important. Only you should write this transaction and journal entry. Clear? So first entry is clear. If it is clear, please note this. Okay, next. Note this. First, always remember, procedure will start from what? We have to send application money to company. So company receive the application, then procedure start. Right? So bank account debit to share application. Write this. Transaction, journal entry. No need to write this box. Information contained in box. Then whatever we received on application, this application money will be transferred to share capital, because ultimately we cannot show application, allotment, first call, final call in the balance sheet. Balance sheet only we have to mention share capital. That's why whatever we collected, for that separate entry will come, but ultimately that is transferred to what? Capital. Right? Ultimately that is transferred to what? Capital. That's why application stage what we receive, allotment stage what we receive, first call what we receive, final call what we receive, everything will be transferred to share capital account. So next entry is transfer entry, because you have to complete the double entry system. So here share application credited, so this we have to cancel now. So here it will be debited. So transfer of application money. Okay, next is what? Transfer of application money to share capital. When shares are allotted, when company giving the allotment, so whatever we received on application, company received the application, that is transferred to share capital. So entry will be share application to share capital. Okay. Now after this application account will be closed. Here credited, here debited, double entry completed. Okay, everything is transferred to what? Share capital. Everything is transferred to what? Share capital. Note this. Transfer of application money to share capital. When this is recorded, when shares are decided to be allotted. Sometime public can apply for extra number of shares also. That we will discuss at later stage. Initially you should understand basic things. Once you expertise in these basics, we'll discuss about complicated issues. Okay, right. This is not required. Box whatever is mentioned, that is not required. Not required. Now when company issuing the shares, always remember two situations will take place. Either shares will be oversubscribed or shares will be undersubscribed. Company issued 1 lakh shares. So public applying for 2 lakh shares, 3 lakh shares, 3 lakh application coming, 5 lakh application. So that is oversubscription, because sometimes there is a craze for the company shares. Company public want to invest, every person want to invest, most of the investor want to invest. So in that case, oversubscription will be taking place. So company is having only 1 lakh shares, but applications are coming for 2 lakh shares. So company can issue 2 lakh shares? No, not possible. because according to SEBI, they can generally give the permission that this many shares only company can issue. So company cannot issue beyond that. So there is a ceiling, there is a cap. Beyond that, company cannot issue the shares. Okay. So in that case, whatever extra money company has received, what will be the treatment of that? You have to understand. Please listen carefully. Company has issued 1 lakh shares, and on this 1 lakh share, company is going to receive 10 rupees face value, and this is receivable in 4 installment: application, allotment, first call, final call. Okay, but applications are coming for more than 1 lakh shares, so that is called as what? Oversubscription. So in case of oversubscription, in what way company will decide to allot the shares? That is very important. So whenever oversubscription is taking place, generally company will allot the shares on pro rata basis. On pro rata basis. In some cases, first come first service basis is also used, and pro rata basis also used. Mostly pro rata basis will be used. Pro rata means what? Pro rata basis means what? Pro rata basis means, suppose you are a shareholder. You are a shareholder. Suppose company is having only 1 lakh share, but applications received by company is 2 lakhs. So company cannot issue 2 lakh shares. Company can issue 1 lakh shares only. Now they will see any applicant who is applying for 2 shares. Company will issue 1 share. This is called as pro rata. Means any applicant, suppose Mr. Ram has applying for 20,000 shares. So he is applying for this. He applied for 20,000 shares. So company will not allot or issue 20,000 shares because shares quantity is limited, applications are more. In that case, the pro rata decided is 2:1. Is any shareholder who is applying for 2 shares, company will give 1 share. So this is called as what? Pro rata. So it means Ram applying for 20,000 shares, na? So Ram will get 10,000 shares. So 10,000 shares only allotted. So this is called as what? Pro rata allotment. So whenever there will be a oversubscription, shares will be allotted on the basis of pro rata. Okay. So in that case, what will happen? Ram applying for 20,000 shares. So he paid application money on 20,000 shares. Ram has paid application money on how many shares? 20,000 shares. But how many shares he is getting? 10,000 only. So remaining extra amount company has received from Ram or not? Yes. On how many shares? 10,000 shares. Ram applying for 20,000 share. But how many shares Ram getting? 10,000 only. So it means face value of share is suppose 10 rupee. Application company is going to receive 3. Allotment company is going to collect 3. First call 2. Final call 2. In this way company is going to receive the money. Now Ram applied for 20,000 shares. So Ram has to pay 20,000 into application 3. It means 60,000 Mr. Ram has to pay to the company. But company is allotting how many shares? 10,000. He applied for 20,000 share. But how many shares company is allotting? 10,000 only because of oversubscription. So 10,000 into 3. So it means Mr. Ram has to pay actually how much? 30,000 only on application. So this 30,000 rupees received, extra amount received from Ram, company has to return or company has to retain. Only 2 options available. From Mr. Ram, company has received 30,000 extra rupees or not on 10,000 shares. Yes, sir. Because Ram applied for 20,000 share, but company is issuing the shares on pro rata basis, 2:1 basis. So Ram applying for 20,000 shares. So he paid 20,000 into 3, 60,000 rupees. But company cannot issue 20,000 shares now. Yes, sir. Company cannot allot 20,000 shares. As per pro rata, 10,000 shares only company can allot. Right, sir. So it means on 10,000 shares, Mr. Ram has paid extra money now. So company has to return that or company has to retain that. So what company has to do? So here two options are available. Bhai. Company can return also, company can retain also. Why company can retain, sir? Because Mr. Ram has to pay allotment also, first call also, final call also. No, only he paid extra money on application. But in future, Mr. Ram has to pay on allotment, on first call and final call also. That's why some companies, most of the companies will not return the money, extra money, this extra money. This extra money will be adjusted for further payments. So in future, Mr. Ram has to pay allotment now. In that it will be adjusted. So this is called as pro rata. This type of discussions will done in further classes. Only for example purpose I am explaining this. Compulsory this we have to discuss in our practical questions. Okay. So pro rata means what? Whenever there is a oversubscription, any shareholder who is applying for more number of shares but he is getting less shares, extra amount paid by him either refunded or it will be adjusted for future payment, because that person or that shareholder has to pay money in future also now on allotment, first call, final call. So for this amount is retained and in future it will be adjusted. So in most of the cases, any shareholder who paid the amount, extra amount on application stage, that amount is not returned to him, that is retained by company and that will be adjusted in future. In what? Allotment or first call or final call. Okay na? Right, sir. This is understand or not, please first communicate, because this is the most typical area where students will struggle. Easy only, but first time learners struggles. First time learners will generally struggle. That's why I am asking here. If this is clear, then I will proceed further or I will explain one more time. Yes, please communicate fast. Pro rata allotment means what? Understand and how it will be decided, that is also understand. Extra money will not be refunded, it will be adjusted for future, because in future you have to pay the money for allotment now, because only you paid for application. Future you have to pay for allotment, first call, final call also. So for that company retained the money and adjusted. Yes, all students have to communicate. Please do it fast. If not clear, I will explain one more time. No need to worry. See, if you don't send the message now, silent will not give any indication to me. I can't decide anything. Chaliye. So next is for transfer of excess application money towards allotment in case of oversubscription. It means if amount is received in extra, there is a oversubscription. So it means amount can be utilized for allotment also, and sometime it can be utilized for calls also. Excess money. Okay. E. It can be used for allotment also, or it can be used for calls also. Here. Example, sir. I will explain. See. Please listen carefully. Company issued 1 lakh shares. Applications. Company received the applications for 2 lakh shares. Company issued 1 lakh shares. Application received by the company 2 lakh shares. Now Mr. Ram applied for 20,000 shares and pro rata basis is 2:1. So Mr. Ram will allot how many shares? Shares allotted 10,000 only. On how many shares extra amount? 10,000. Suppose company receiving application 3, allotment 3, first call 2, second call 2. In this way company receiving. So how much amount Mr. Ram has paid on application? So Ram paid application money to the company. So 20,000 shares, he paid 3 rupees. So it means he paid 60,000. Now how much amount they can adjust for application? Sir, only 10,000 shares given now. So 10,000 into 3. 30,000 only they can adjust. Now remaining 30,000 extra now, this can be adjusted for what? Allotment. This can be adjusted for allotment. Okay, so on allotment how much he has to pay? 10,000 into 3. Clear? Because Ram is getting how many shares? 10,000 na. So on allotment how much he has to pay? 3 rupees na. So 10,000 into 3 he has to pay. And how much extra amount available with company? 30,000. So this will be adjusted against allotment. Okay. Suppose Mr. Ram applying for 24,000 shares. How many shares? 24,000 shares. But company is allotting 10,000 only. So on how many shares extra money coming? 14,000. Then application money paid by Ram is 24,000 into 3. How much? 72,000. How much? 72,000. Right? Now on application how much they have to adjust? Ram applying for 24,000 shares, but company allotting how many shares? 10,000 only. So on 14,000 shares extra amount coming. So Ram applied for 24,000 shares. He paid 3 rupees on application. So it means company received 72,000. Application, how much company will adjust? By Ram is getting 10,000 shares only. So application money will be adjusted for 10,000 shares only. So 10,000 into 3, 30,000. Now how much extra? 42,000 extra. So this will be adjusted for allotment? No, this will be adjusted for allotment also and call also. Here this can be adjusted for allotment and call also. Why? Because on allotment how much money he has to pay? 10,000 into 3. So 30,000 will be adjusted on allotment. And extra 12,000 is there na? Yes sir. This will be adjusted on call. Will be adjusted on call. Which call? First call. Okay, this is adjusted on allotment. This is adjusted on first call. Okay, so adjusted on allotment how much? 30,000. Because Ram getting how many shares? 10,000 shares. So 10,000 shares into 3 application money, 30,000 on application. Extra how much? 42,000. Because 72,000 company receive from Ram. 24,000 shares into 3. Right? Yes sir. So 72,000 received. From 72 how much relating to application? 30,000. 10,000 into 3. Now how much extra? 42,000 extra. From this extra 42,000, this is excess money. This is what? Excess application. So from this excess application money of 42,000, how much adjusted on allotment? 30,000. Because Ram has to pay on 10,000 shares 3 rupees. So 30,000 completely will be adjusted on allotment. Thereafter, how much balance available? 12,000. So 12,000 will be adjusted on what? First call. Here. So in future, when first call is made, Mr. Ram has to pay 10,000 into 2 rupees. 20,000, but from this 20,000 already how much he paid? 12,000. Already paid how much? 12,000. So finally he has to pay 8,000 only. Understand? In this way adjustment will take place. In this way adjustment will take place. Understand? By total he has to pay 20,000 on first call, na? 10,000 shares into 2. But already how much he paid in advance? 12,000. So this 12,000 will be adjusted. Only he has to pay 8,000 when first call is made. So he paid the money in advance. That's why this is called as calls in advance. That's why this is called as what? Calls in advance. Okay. Okay, this explanation is understand to all, please. ये सबसे ज़्यादा important है. This is most important area. If this is okay, all these calculations will we'll do in the future classes. All these calculations I will explain once again. We'll do all this in further classes also. Don't worry. This is roughly I am explaining, so that student can understand what is exactly meant by this. Chaliye, is it understood or not? Whenever oversubscription taking place, in what way excess money will be adjusted? This is example on adjustment of excess money. Whenever excess money received, how it will be adjusted? Yes, all students have to communicate fastly. Please do it fast. मैसेजेस थोड़ा जल्दी कीजिए, लेट मत करो. Okay, understand, sir. Chaliye. So now you can note this third entry. Box whatever information is there that is not required. For transfer of excess application money towards allotment, should write this transaction and write this entry. This entry. And thereafter the money entry for transfer of excess application money to calls in advance. You can write calls in advance. Means you can write this entry also, you can write this entry also. तो ये लिख सकते हैं. Okay. Any one entry you can pass. If you are interested to open calls in advance account, this is referred. If you are not interested to open calls in advance account, then this is it. दोनों लिख लो. चलिए फटाफट. Note this. Only ready drink, whatever I underline, you should write this. And this journal entry. Here also same. Reading whatever underline, note that along with journal entry. Copy this. Okay, completed now. Right, sir. Next is, sometime what will happen, some shareholders will apply for the shares, but shares will not be allotted to them. It is also possible na bhai, because I applied for the shares, I got the allotment, my friend applied for the shares, but he has not got the allotment. So when shares are not allotted to any shareholder who applied by paying the application money, generally the money will be refunded. The money will be refunded. Okay. So any shareholder who applied for the applications, his applications are not accepted, no allotment was taken place, company has to refund the money. So that is the entry. For refund of application money, share application to bank. Okay. Now previously you recorded 4 entries now. First entry, second, third, fourth. So second, third, fourth separately you passed. Suppose an examination time is important factor. You don't want to pass separate entries. You can combine also. Means combined means what, sir? First entry you receive bank to share application. Thereafter share application money transfer to share capital. Then excess money adjusted in allotment, or excess money adjusted in first call, or excess money refunded. Sorry, if application is not accepted, money refunded. So this entries, second entry, third entry and fourth entry, you can combinedly also pass. Okay, so here this is the journey. So share application account debit to share capital. How much transfer to share capital? That is come here. To share allotment, how much adjusted in allotment? That will come here. To calls in advance, that will come here. How much refunded? That will come here. So in my example, Mr. Ram has applied for 24,000 shares. So Ram point of view entries will not come. Whole company point of view entries will come. Please remember. The company issued how many shares? 1 lakh. Application received for how many shares? 2 lakh shares. 2 lakh shares के applications आए company को. How many shares applications? 2 lakh. So 2 lakh into 3. इधर 6 lakhs हो जाएगा. This will be 6 lakhs. So from this company can transfer how much to share capital? 1 lakh only, because company issued how many shares? 1 lakh only. So this can be transferred to share capital. So 3 lakhs. So how much adjusted in allotment? Suppose Mr. Ram paid 30,000 rupees extra in advance now. So 30,000 will be adjusted in allotment. Mr. Ram has paid 12,000 on calls in advance. So 12,000 will be adjusted. Suppose one shareholder to whom shares not allotted, his money refunded. Suppose that is 8,000. So that will come here. Okay. So in this way entry will be passed. So any shareholder who has not got the allotment, money will be refunded. So entry will be share application to bank. So entry number 2, 3, 4 you can combine also. When this is combined, this is the resulting entry. So 2, 3, 4 को combine करे तो ये entry आता है आपका. Okay, combinedly also you can pass, separately also you can pass. That is your wish, bhai. As per your wish, you can proceed in exam, because time is also important in exam conditions. If you are interested to pass this combined entry, you can go with this, proceed with this, right? Note this: for refund of application money, share application to bank. This is your wish. If you are interested, you can pass, otherwise not required. Okay, ये आपका मर्जी है. You are interested, pass. Record this entry, note this entry. Okay, right, sir. So, so far what you understand, entries relating to application stage. When amount is received on application, what is the entry? If it is transferred to share capital, what is the entry? If extra amount received on application, what is the entry? If adjusted against allotment, adjusted against call, if amount is refunded, what is the entry? So you understand this. Now total 4 stages are there. So first stage we have done. This stage, application stage. Now we have to discuss about allotment stage, first call stage, final call stage. So only so far you understand what application stage. Like 4 stages are there or not? Application, allotment, first call, final call. 4 stages है आपके पास. So you have done with application only. Now you have to discuss allotment. You have to discuss first call. You have to discuss final call also. So now we are starting allotment stage. Application completed. Now you have to start allotment stage. All students are ready? Yes, application stage clear to all. Application stage is clear to all. Yes, fastly communicate. Application stage सबको clear है? चलिए, now we'll start allotment stage. Right. Allotment stage means first allotment money is not received directly like application. First allotment money due entry is passed, because once shareholder applying for shares, he has to pay application money. Without payment of that, application will not be accepted. Now that's why initially payment is required, but later on first due entry is passed. How much amount due from shareholder on allotment, that is recorded. Thereafter received amount is recorded. That's why in second stage, third stage and fourth stage, first due entry is passed. What is allotment money due, what is first call due, what is final call due. So allotment due entry. So allotment due entry will be share allotment to share capital. ये entry आएगा आपका. This is due entry. Allotment due. Okay. Allotment due. So allotment due में entry will be share allotment to share capital. Thereafter allotment money received. Allotment money received में bank to share allotment आएगा. What is the entry? Bank to share allotment. So entry number 5, entry number 6. These two entries will be required. Entry number 5 and entry number 6. तो लिखिए 5th entry and 6th entry. Allotment money due, share allotment to share capital. Allotment money received, bank to share allotment. Complete that. Fifth entry and 6th entry, complete that. First write the transaction, allotment money due, then pass entry, then receipt of allotment money, pass the entry. Okay. Sometime any shareholder who has not paid the money on allotment, then bank account debit, calls in arrears debit to share allotment will come. Okay, I will explain that also. Why sometimes some shareholder will not pay the allotment money now. So if that is not paid, call scenario will be used. What is used? Call scenario. For example, one shareholder is there who applied for 20,000 shares. He paid application money, but allotment money he has not paid, like this. So it means whenever allotment money is not paid or first call is not paid, final call is not paid, company will not receive the money. So that is called as what? Call scenario. So क्या बोलेंगे? Call scenario. I will explain. यहाँ पर ध्यान से देखिए आप. For example, company has to receive the allotment money on 1 lakh shares. So company has to receive allotment money on how many shares? 1 lakh shares. How much? 3 rupees suppose. Out of this 1 lakh shares, suppose one shareholder to whom 5,000 shares allotted. So Mr. A, समझे नाम इनका. A is the name of this shareholder. So 5,000 shares allotted to him, or he is having 5,000 shares. He did not pay, fails to pay allotment money. Okay, it means total amount due on allotment is 1 lakh shares into 3. So entry will be share allotment account debit 3 lakhs to share capital 3 lakhs. This is allotment money due. Now received. Company has received 3 lakhs or no? Out of 1 lakh share on 5,000 shares allotment money not received. So entry बनेगा bank account debit 95,000 shares into 3. Right? Calls in arrears account debit 5,000 into 3. To share allotment 3 lakhs. Out of 3 lakh, 15,000 is not received. So 285 received. Entry आएगा बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट 285, कॉल्स इन अरियर 15, to share allotment 3 lakh. Can this entry understand? आया समझ में ये सबको? भाई allotment money due, allotment money received. Understand or not? If allotment money totally not received, if anything is defaulted, call scenario will come. What will come? Call scenario. Default होगा तो आता है call scenario. Yes. This is understand or not? On allotment, company has to receive 3 lakh rupees. But out of 3 lakh rupees, means on 1 lakh share 3 rupees. One shareholder has not paid allotment money on 5,000 shares. So 5,000 shares into 3. Company has not received 15,000. So this is defaulted. It default हो गया है ये. So this defaulted is called as what? Call scenario. क्या बोलेंगे उसको? Call scenario. Defaulted is called as what? Call scenario. चलिए अंडरस्टैंड और नॉट. देखो जो नहीं बोलेंगे उनका ही नुकसान है. फिर जो बताएगा दर्द वही आगे जाकर परफेक्ट करेगा चैप्टर. राइट, अंडरस्टैंड. ठीक है, एंट्री देखिए इधर. कॉल सिनेरियो टू शेयर अलॉटमेंट है. मीन्स इसको कंबाइन भी कर सकते हैं. यू कैन कंबाइन दिस एंट्री. कंबाइन करते क्या होगा? बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट, कॉल सिनेरियो डेबिट टू शेयर अलॉटमेंट. दैट्स इट. दिस इज सेपरेट एंट्री. I given combined entry. Okay, now understand, sir? Yes. Complete this. So allotment money due, allotment money received, then allotment money not received, unpaid allotment money, call scenario to share allotment. Note this. मैं आपको information contained in the boxes not required. Already I mentioned. Now after this, again first call, final call stage is there. So we completed application stage, we completed allotment stage. Our next stage is what? First call, final call. Again same, first call money due, received. Final call money due, received. Same entries will come. So first call money due है, so entry will be share first call, share capital आएगा. And received है, bank account debit, call scenarios if there is a default to share first call. Second call also same. In place of first call we have to write second call. That's it. This is the entry. Okay, note this. देखिए आप, final call due, share final call, first call to share capital, final call में share final call to share capital. Okay, देखिए for first call money due, this is the entry, share first call to share capital. Receipt वाली entry bank to share first call, due है तो call scenario to share first call. Combinedly also you can pass bank, call scenario to first call, right? Here, eighth entry for making first call due. In some cases, what will happen? There is a oversubscription and shareholder applying for extra shares. So there is a calls in advance. That if there is a calls in advance, slightly changes will take place here. That also we have to discuss. यहाँ तक first लिख लो आप to 10 entries. Calls in advance means suppose one shareholder applying for 24,000 shares. Company allotted 10,000 shares, 14,000 shares extra. So 14,000 shares into 3, 42,000 extra receive. From that, adjustment taken place for allotment 30, adjustment taken place for first call 12,000. Already I explained now, initial example same. So that is calls in advance that we are going to discuss now. Okay, remember initially I explained now? Yes sir. First note this 9th and 10th entry. Thereafter I will explain calls in advance. Right. Now concentrate here for adjustment of calls in advance. Adjustment of calls in advance means previously we have received some money in advance. So whatever we received in advance that we have to cancel and balance amount only we have to receive. That's why calls in advance is debited. Here first call is credited. Okay, means in previous example I clearly mentioned. Initial example of Ram. We paid 42,000 rupees extra. From this 30,000 adjusted in allotment, 12,000 adjusted in first call. So remaining 8,000 only has to pay now. So 8,000 only has to pay. So that we have to adjust here. Okay. So what entry we passed so far? Here application to calls in advance. So this calls in advance will debit now. Then only double entry will complete. That's why this calls in advance will be debited in first call or final call stage. So here it will be debited. Okay, debit हो जाएगा. Okay, to share first call. If it is related to final call, in final call stage it will come. That's it. This is the extra entry. Thereafter same share final call due received. Okay, the extra entry is लिख लो ऐसे. This we have to cancel now, otherwise double entry will not complete. Because application stage you pass this, credited this. If you do not debit, scheme of generalization will not complete. That's why here it is necessary to debit. Debit करना mandatory है. Then final call due, share final call to share capital, receive, bank to share final call. If there is a default call scenario to final call. That's it. Okay. अगर final call में भी कुछ advance है, here also we have to adjust advance. This is the scheme of entries, right? देखिए फटाफट से 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? Yes sir. So far you recorded till 10. Okay, calls in advance entries, understand na? Application stage you have credited na? If you do not debit, double entry will not complete. This is related to first call means you have to debit in first call. This is related to final call, you have to debit in final call. This point understand or not, all students? Yes, confirmed here. Extra entry which we are passing for calls in advance, this is understand or not? Double entry will not complete if you do not pass this entry. Yes, communicate. जल्दी से बताइए. Yes, calls in advance area अंडरस्टूड और नॉट? सभी स्टूडेंट बताइए फटाफट से, कम्युनिकेट फास्ट. ओके, राइट. Note this. The remaining amount only we will receive. If you do not pass this entry, if you write calls in share final call to share capital or share first call to share capital 20,000, means you have to receive 20,000. So 20,000 is wrong now. Already 12,000 in application stage you received or not? Yes, sir. So remaining 8,000 only you have to record now. That's why that 12,000 is cancelled here. That is the reason calls in advance is debited here. Okay, right. Note it first. Next. So this is issue of shares at par and amount is received in installment. Okay, next class we are going to start the issue of shares at premium. Okay, प्रीमियम के साथ का डिस्कशन करना है आपको नेक्स्ट क्लास में. टू सिचुएशंस आर देयर भाई, अंडर सब्सक्रिप्शन, ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन. मोस्टली क्वेश्चंस विल बी ड्राफ्टेड ऑन ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन ओनली. अंडर सब्सक्रिप्शन पे क्वेश्चन नहीं आता है, इसलिए वी आर नॉट डिस्कसिंग अंडर सब्सक्रिप्शन, बिकॉज अकॉर्डिंग टू सभी गाइडलाइंस, इफ कंपनी इज नॉट एबल टू रिसीव 95% of the shares issued through subscription, then incorporation certificate can be cancelled. That's why no company will take the risk in this area. Compulsory shares will be oversubscribed only. Then in that case only they will come for IPO. चलिए, so this 15 entries, understand or not? If this is understand, we will start the next discussion in the next session, that is issue of shares at premium and other related issues. So today's session, issue of shares at par, this concept is clear to all or not? Please communicate, because I have to close the session here only. Next session we are going to discuss about issue of shares at premium. Okay, आज के लिए इतना सफिशिएंट है ये. All students, issue of shares at par, this concept understood or not? But fast messages. All students have to message, starting the students who have login, including all those. Do you understand? Girls students are not sending any messages here. Any doubt? Yes. No doubts, everything is clear. चलिए, so next session will start the issue of shares at premium. Okay, right sir. चलिए, so good day, we'll meet in the next session with new concept.